All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are at Cards and Culture on the purple couch, and I'm probably with maybe one of the most decorated guests you might be, honestly. I was looking at your rap sheet of all your accomplishments and everything. I'm going to put them in the show notes. I'm going to do a runoff at the end of the recap, so you guys will hear all of her accomplishments. But Alia Armstrong, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah. So you're a busy woman. You guys just finished your spring season, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give our listeners, I always letting the guests kind of do a 1 minute rundown intro of who you are and what makes you you.
Yeah. So I'm Alia Armstrong, as he said. I'm from New Orleans, but I'm actually partially from California. I was born and raised in California until I was 15, Los Angeles, actually. And then we moved to New Orleans when I was 15. And I was raised there until I signed to LSU. And I was recruited by a lot of colleges, but LSU just had my heart because I feel like my later life and where I learned the most, I was in Louisiana. So that's kind of just where my foundation is. And I just wanted to stay here, be close to home, be close to family. So yeah, now I run track at LSU, and it's been awesome. I've been on world stages, I've been on national stages, so this was definitely the best fit for me.
I cannot wait to dive in because I'm fascinated with the track world, right? Like I played baseball and I know the 3 major sports, all that stuff, and a little bit of other stuff, but track fascinates me because I know there's indoor, out, there's so many different events and everything. So I'm going to ask you some questions. They might be dumb. So you got to talk to me like I'm a child.
Yeah,
okay?
Nothing's dumb.
All right. But I didn't know. That's pretty cool. So I read your LSU bio and everything. I like to get a background. So LA for 15 years. So you're really not a Louisiana born and raised.
Not native, no.
Not native, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have family back in LA? Do you go back and visit? Like, how's that shape you nowadays?
When I was younger, I did go back and visit a lot because my grandmother and my grandfather was alive, but now they passed away. So I don't really go there often anymore. But when I do go, it's like for vacation and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of my upbringing was in Los Angeles, and like a city that's like maybe 45 minutes away, which is called Corona, Riverside. So that's where I was like, that's where I went to high school and elementary school and stuff like that.
Home of Joe Kelly. He's a pitcher in the big leagues, one of the guys I played with, but he's from Corona, California.
Really?
So, yeah.
What high school did he go to?
I think Corona.
Corona
He went to then he went to UC Riverside, I think, and he pitched there. He was a pitcher. He's he's a big major leaguer. Yeah.
I went to Centennial High School.
Okay. Man, I'll look it up and I'll let you know. But that's cool. I love that. Yeah. So background, growing up, family of athletes, your mom and dad, they play sports. Where does it come from?
Nice. Okay. I like that question. So my mom, she ran track at Mississippi State University.
Nice. Okay.
She was a hurdler.
What?
She was a hurdler. Yeah. So I get it from my mom, and my dad, he ran track, I believe, at the same university. I'm not really close to like my biological father, but yeah, he ran track at I think the same university, and then she got pregnant with me, and we moved to California just to get like a better life. She didn't want me raised in the city because it's a hard life out there. So she wanted us to be raised in like a suburban area, and that's when we moved there. But yeah, she did run track in college and in high school. She was supposed to go to the Olympics, and then she got pregnant with my sister, my older sister. She's 28. So yeah.
Nice. Wow. I'm fascinated by families of athletes and stuff like that. I didn't come from a family of athletes. I was just anomaly, like nobody else. My older brother played a little bit of sports and is actually crazy athletic, but we don't have the same mom. So my upbringing was a lot different. My mom didn't know shit about sports. She was just like, yeah, keep doing your thing, bud. Like my dad didn't know. We had to get a bunch of advice from people and stuff. So I always just like to understand if where it came from for you.
Yeah.
You play other sports too?
My whole life I played soccer.
Nice. Yeah. Just running. You just like to run.
From 6 years old up until 18, I played soccer. And then Coach Shaver said, no, we're not doing it. I'm not doing any injuries at LSU. Sorry. Good. I wanted to play LSU soccer though. I did.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, I wish.
Has anybody done both or whatever? Or like had played soccer and track or done track?
No, he doesn't have it. like with the ACL tear, I've had like concussions after I've had like 6 concussions.
From soccer?
Soccer and car accidents.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mainly from soccer. So he was like, no, I'm not doing it.
You said you had an ACL injury from soccer?
Well, no, he was just saying like there's a big amount. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So how obviously you said your mom had ran track and stuff. So how does track start at at a young age? Like, do you just are faster than everybody when you're playing soccer and you're like, yeah, we should go play something, do some of this, go win some medals?
I think the way I started was, well, the difference is like, oh, sorry.
You're good.
With hurdling, I started hurdling a different way than I started track. Like with track, I was just fast. Right. I was always fast. So like I ran in elementary school and then like the district meet, and then middle school is the same way. But like as far as hurdling, I was at practice one day and we were doing the warm-up lap, and I've always been like really silly. I never took anything serious. So like I was running and then I jumped over a trash can, and my mom was like, she was watching me. She was like, oh. Yeah. And she was like, wait, do that again. And I did it again. And she was like, do you want to hurdle? And I was like, sure. Like, why not? Yeah. And so I started hurdling when I moved to Louisiana, my junior year in high school. And ever since then, like, it just took off. I broke the national record within 6 months of me learning how to hurdle. So
can you say that again? Just real quick.
I broke the national record within like 6 months of me learning how to hurdle. So she was like, we have something here. Yeah. Like, I definitely passed this down to you. So she just kept training me. My mom was my coach all through high school. So like she kept training me and just like stayed on me as far as staying focused, not getting distracted. I love that. And that's when like I started getting offers, and I went to New Balance Nationals and stuff like that. So it was just insane.
I saw that. So you were a 2-time New Balance All-American, right? Or was that in college? Or was that in high school leading?
No, that was in high school. Okay. I was an All-American indoor, and then outdoor I was a national champion. Okay. Yeah, I was reading that. You're a 4-time All-American. You've won a couple national champions. Like, yeah. So explain to me how the national championship works for a individual and part of a team. How does that work? As far as like college goes?
Yeah, college. Yeah, sorry.
So basically we go through like SECs, and we have all. Oh, this is outdoor, right? Yeah.
We'll do outdoor first. Yeah.
Okay, outdoor first. So basically, we have a whole season. We run fast times, cool. But like, the way to qualify for nationals is regionals. Okay. And when we get to regionals, we have to make the top, I think 16 or 24 in our region.
Everybody makes regionals, or do you have to have like a certain qualifier
top
time?
46, gotcha. I think.
Okay, cool.
Dang it.
That's all right.
Yeah, you got me.
That's all right.
Top like 46.
We'll say 64 maybe.
Okay.
That's most NCAA tournaments are 64.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They make regionals, and then from there we go to nationals. You qualify. Well, no, not really there, but like you have to compete at regionals. Once you make it, you have to compete there. You have to make the top 3 for the first day, and then the second day you have to make the top like 2, and the next 2 advance or something. And then they take the top 12 from each region, I believe. I'm not really familiar with NCAA. I just be in the top whatever.
Like, I run fast, I win. They give me my medal, I go home. It's like rap. That's literally You're like, tell me where I need to run, how fast, what are the numbers, and we got it.
Right. I don't really pay attention to the numbers, but like, yeah, we just go to nationals after that, and then we have to make, I think we run 2 rounds. Okay. Yeah.
But like, all right, so if you win, sorry to cut you up. If you win something, your point total goes to LSU, or is it just you win a championship, now LSU has a championship? How does that work when you represent the school?
Oh, so like, yeah, okay. So if I win, yeah, my individual national championship goes to LSU. Like they add it to their record book. Gotcha. And so then LSU has another like national champion, basically.
Gotcha. So basically when we say track and field has 26 national champions, or however many they have, that means that we've had 26 individuals win a national championship event.
Yeah.
Okay. And that means coming first, right? Like you had the best in your event.
Yep. And then we also have team titles as well.
Okay, cool.
There's individuals like for your race, and then there's team titles. Like you can all like be national champions in your event, and if you have like so many national champions or point scorers, you can win as a team.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's the part that's always confused me. I'm like, is LSU winning? Is this an individual? Who are we cheering for? I'm like, all I know is they were wearing purple and gold, and I'm for it. So
right, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I don't want to put you on the spot. How many events are there typically? Like different track events?
Excuse me. If
ballpark.
Okay, about roughly. I would say roughly 10.
Okay, that's what I was thinking-ish. That's what I was like 8 to 10-ish.
Yeah. Okay. If we're not including long distance. Long distance is different, and relays.
Okay, so that's different than track and field, or is it part of the?
It's a part of it, but it's just like it's a different caliber. Like the individual events, maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's fun. All right. And so that was outdoor, right? That's is there a different process for indoor?
It's a difference indoor. The only thing with indoor is like everything's pretty much cut in half ish. Like the 200, you have
distance
two laps. Yeah, distance wise. Like there's not a 400 meter track. It's a 200 meter track, and you have to run around twice to make 400. Yep. And then with the hurdles, like instead of 100 hurdles, it's 60 meter hurdles. 100 dash, 60 meter dash. So like it's much shorter.
Gotcha.
So that's the only difference between indoor and outdoor. And there's no 400 hurdles.
Gotcha. Okay.
Indoor.
What do you like better, hurdles or sprints?
Hurdles.
Hurdles?
Oh
really?
my gosh. Hurdles are my life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Okay. And sprints, when you say sprints, you're just literally doing distance, right?
You're just running as fast as you can.
Just quick.
Yeah.
All right. So how many world records do you have any world records right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Have you ever broken a world record?
No.
Okay.
But the world record is 12:12, I believe, and that's my goal this year.
Let's go. All right. Are we close? Where are you at right now?
Time-wise, 12:31. That's like my non-win legal time. I haven't ran a win legal 12:31, but like my fastest time is 12:40. So I just know that I'm capable of it because I did that with many, many mistakes.
Gotcha.
And I'm still doing it. Yeah. So I'm very confident in my ability, and I know that I can do it. I just believe in myself, and I trust God. So that's all that matters.
I love it. So you just said I made some mistakes. When I pitched, I played baseball, right? And I would pitch, and then I'd go watch film, and I'd be able to watch the way the pitches move, or my mechanics were a little off, and that's how I knew, or they just slapped me around the yard, and I had a bad day. Mm-hmm. But that's how I knew I made mistakes. What is it for track? Like, what are you looking at your form? Is it how you jump out? Like, I don't know.
So for hurdles in particular, as far as like the sprint sides, I can say, but like for the hurdle side in particular, I would say like there's mistakes as far as hitting hurdles, as far as like my trail leg wasn't really moving fast. Gotcha. I wasn't like whipping down my lead leg fast enough. I didn't have a good start. So like those are like the different little mistakes that can literally shut off milliseconds from 12. Oh
nope, it doesn't want. It's just running away.
From
it's my mic now.
from 12.4 to 12.1, that's the major differences. Like you need to be quicker in between the hurdles in those 3 steps. You need to have sharpness over the hurdle, and you need to get out and have a good reaction time to the gun. Like that's really like the only major difference. Okay. And it's huge when it's milliseconds because those are quick. So it's like if I snap a little bit faster, I can run 12.3 instead of 12.4.
That's so crazy.
So
literally, that makes a difference in all this shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how intense, like, you said you train at 7 a.m. or whatever. Talk to me a little bit about your training and especially where you're at right now.
Okay. Our training has changed a little bit. So kind of like when we go into this season, because last season I did the same thing going into USA's, but this season in particular, like he kind of amps us up a little bit. Like we've done more volume. Like now I'll just say 2 150s and 2 90s, which is insane. Like,
is that like distance that you're having to run and like
train? 150 meters. Yeah. So like we have to sprint that in 19 seconds, or like a 90 in 10.5. So like it's like the volume is more intense, but like he's getting us ready to compete with professional athletes.
Yeah.
And I it hurts when I'm at practice, but like I appreciate it because this is what's grooming me to be better. So it's definitely different in the off season. Like my seasons are it depends on the season that we're in. Like fall training is different from regular season to off season. Yeah. So it just depends.
Yeah. What about like weightlifting and flexibility? What are some of like, when I was playing baseball, ankle and hip flexibility were super important, right? Shoulder stability is important. Like what is it for track athletes? Obviously your feet are going to be huge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For track, we kind of like have the same, we've just changed our strength and conditioning coach, but it's kind of the same. In the weight room, we kind of just like focus on power cleans, like when you clean, right? Explosive type movements. So like when you clean, get your feet up and down fast, like quick movements, and then bench press. We don't really bench that heavy, but like, I mean, I'll do like some small, like 90 pounds or like whatever, 89 pounds, and then just like bench that, and then We also incorporate after weights. We do like shot throws, which is basically like you come off of a like a stool and you throw like a shot put and like you throw it and you do that in the motion where you come out the blocks. And so that way like your body is used to like exploding out instead of like just like, you know, just, okay. Like we actually explode out when we do it. So we have to practice that as well. But the weight room is not too bad. We don't really lift. I mean, we don't really squat too heavy. We don't really clean too heavy. It's basically just about like fast management. Movements. Fast movements.
Yep. Fast twitch muscles, right? Yeah. I was a pitcher, so it was the same thing. It was like we would have every now and then we'd have a heavy load day, you know, to maintain muscle endurance and strength and that kind of stuff. But it was all about how fast can you move the bar, how fast are your feet hitting the ground, all that shit.
Yeah.
You know? So I love it. I always I owned a couple gyms in town here and stuff like that. So training always fascinates me, and I feel like track athletes are the best in the world. So I'm like, what do you guys train? What is like, you know, that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, no problem. I'm fascinated. I really am. Running was not my thing. It's not.
It's not a lot of people's thing. It's hard to do. It's so hard to do.
Do you hate long distance running since you're a sprinter? Yeah, I can't imagine.
See, my face said it all.
I know, that was the answer right there. Yeah. But I figured, I mean, everything is short, like fast. It's like the last thing you want to do is like go run a mile or 2 miles or whatever.
No, I don't even like the warm-up lap.
Yeah, no, that's
like
terrible.
2 laps is crazy.
Yeah, like you guys God. Looking at the track people, like the long distance, you're like, what are you guys doing? Why would you want this? Yeah, I don't know. It's just a different beast. Yeah. All right, let's talk about shot out of a cannon. Your most memorable race ever. It could be when you were 12 years old, 15, last year, 2 weeks ago when you raced. What was it?
My most memorable race ever. I would honestly have to say regionals this year.
Nice.
And it wasn't even a big race. Like, it was just to qualify for nationals. But the reason why it was most memorable was because I met this family of people. They were not out there for anyone. But I met this family of people, and they just came out there. And I'm very spiritual. To regionals. And I'm very spiritual. So, like, I take everything as like, okay, God is showing me something. And so they came out there and they're like, hey, and I met them. And they're like, hey, like, what do you do? Blah, blah. And I was like, I'm a hurdler. And they were like, oh, that's good. Well, we see that you have a humble spirit and you're a very nice woman. So we're gonna support you at this meet. And so I was like, okay, cool. So the next day I ran and, you know, I'm getting in the blocks, just long story short. And I get out, like the gun goes off and I get out and I'm running. But like, as I'm running, I don't feel like I'm controlling my body. I don't. And this is like, I'm not even being dramatic. Like, hands in the air. Like, I don't even feel like I'm controlling my body. And I'm like, wow. And like, as I'm going through the race, as I get over the last hurdle, I get back, like I'm back in like myself. I feel like myself again. But like as soon as I got off the track, I was just like, what just happened? Yeah. And so when I went to talk back to them, like, we're very close now, but like it was 7 of them and that's the angel number. So like when I get back to them, I'm like, I was explaining like I didn't feel nothing in my body, blah, blah. And like they were explaining how they were watching me and they were like, you were running so fast, blah, blah. And by the end of the meet, like I was kind of reviewing everything and processing everything. And I really think that they were angels sent from God. Yeah. Like I do. Yeah. And I really think that I'm highly favored in this sport because I've never heard anyone preach about or say that they've had an experience like that. So, I mean, there could be people that didn't just talk about it, but I really feel like I'm blessed in this sport because I've never had an experience like that. And it was literally just regionals.
Yeah,
but like,
that's crazy.
They had me protected at that meet in particular. And the day before, a guy that's a really close friend of mine, he had like dislocated his arm, I think, or something like that. He had an injury and he had just hurt himself. And I was concerned about it the whole night. Yeah. And the fact that happened, they had me like covered the whole race was insane. Because in my field, you can fall at any point in time. Yeah. So it was like breathtaking. That was the best experience in my life, hurdling. Holy shit. And not even Worlds. Yeah. Like it was better than Worlds.
Oh my God. I love that story. No, that I got chills because I think I like asking athletes most memorable, right? Like it's probably easy for me to look at your top 5 races and be like, I bet you those are memorable. No shit. But there's those stories right there that you're like, that people don't know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah, nah.
And you're a good little storyteller. That was good. I was locked in. I'm like, I was locked in. That was good.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to pull out more stories. I'm like, let's go.
I have a lot.
Yeah. Well,
it's been a long track world.
So you talked about your mom, and you said she coached you in high school, and you know, obviously you have a relationship with her. If you don't have that good of a relationship with your biological father, you know, she was probably pretty influential on you. Is she the main influence in your life that's kind of gotten to this point? Because I mean, I'm only known you for a couple days now, but 30 minutes of conversation. But you seem like a rock star. You seem like wise beyond your years and all that kind of stuff. So did she instill all that spirituality and those kinds of stuff?
100%. Yeah. Hi. 100%. Growing up, my mom was very spiritual. Like, she would always tell us God is like the main foundation of our life. Like, we have to trust in him. And she didn't just tell us that, but she showed us. Like, growing up, my life, it was never hard for me. Like, she always figured it out for me and my sister, because I have an older sister. But like, she always figured it out for us. And I never understood how she did, but she always mentioned God. So I was like, it was always God. So like by nature, my spirit was like, okay, so if I'm going through something, God is the answer. Yeah. And so I just think that with her doing that growing up, that kind of just molded my spirituality for who I am today. Yeah. And it wasn't even like, she didn't even try to like instill it in me. She was like, she never really told me like, oh, you have to believe in God. Right. You have to do this. Like, it was never like I have to. It was like, I want to, because like, wow, you've come a long way, Mom. Exactly. Like, and I think just seeing the woman that she has become, just seeing how strong she is and who she's praised in return for that, I was like, yeah, like there's nobody else to praise but him. Like, I don't really praise celebrities. I don't really praise like athletes. Of course, I admire them because they're strong people, but I don't praise anyone but God, because at the end of the day, he's the foundation of everybody's life. So I think that was like my main source of motivation growing up and just becoming great, because I always dreamed, but I knew that he was going to bring me to my dreams. So I just always trusted in him.
I love that. I love too that you said your mom didn't force it on you too, right? Like
Never.
It was like, yo, you're a great role model. You've done great for us. That's who I want to be like. And I want to shape, you know, my version of that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh man. What about coaches? Anybody else was an influence, or anybody like kind of like take you under, you know, and teach you something? When I look back on my life, there's like 3 or 4 coaches that I were like, yo, that was instrumental to my development as a man, as a player, anything. Is there anybody like that in your life?
So my mom was my coach in high school. So I would say for her in high school.
Like your high school coach?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she got me here to LSU.
I love that. That's sick.
But as far as like my coaches in college, they were kind of like, they were more of like the side of like, okay, I want you to know that you can believe in yourself, you know, like, and even if there was no religion, of course, like, you know, they're coaches, but like, even if there was no religion involved, they still helped me believe in myself to the point where like, I never doubted myself. There was never any confidence conflicts or issues. Like, my coach always told me whenever I came up to him and I was like, Coach, I don't know, like I'm racing against the fastest girl in the NCAA before, of course, I was. It's like, Coach, I don't know. He was like, okay, and like, do you know who you are? And so that was something that really sat with me. Like, my coach believes in me, well, then I can do it. Like, it doesn't even matter who is next to me, you know? And that's something that transformed my entire career. My coaches have literally instilled in me that it doesn't matter who you race against, you're the best to walk across this track because you came from LSU.
I love that.
Of course.
But also too, like, I think the best athletes are only in competition with themselves. There's an opponent that gives you a measure, right? Hey, that person's there to push me. That person's there to hold me accountable, to try to let me beat them. They're just a competitor though. The real competition is within yourself, right? Like what's in your mind and that kind of stuff, pushing past your abilities and the things you haven't done yet, right? You've only just not done it. And then once you do it, then you're confident, right? So that's that's all confidence is just doing it over and over again. So that's what I love about your coach when he was like, and you just haven't done it yet. You just haven't raced that fastest girl yet. You just got to beat her. And then it's easy the rest of the way, you know, like after that. So I love that. I love hearing stories of that kind of stuff too, because it's easy for individuals to turn the TV on. We were watching your race in here, and it's like, all you see is the finished result, right? That's all we see as fans and people consuming your events. But there's a lot of shit that goes on in between your ears and behind the scenes, and people pushing you that influence you to be able to play like that. So I love hearing that stuff. What about, like, again, I'm just really enjoying this conversation because I don't talk to too many athletes that are this far along and, like, as far as maturation and development and stuff. But what about, like, mental health and mental strength, as far as, like, kind of just what you talked about with your coach? Do you have a go-to routine? Is there anything visualization wise that you practice before events or anything like that? And if not, you could just be like, no, I'm fast.
I kind of want to start with last year. I did have a psychologist that I talk to a lot because I feel like mental health is kind of like not really big in the sports industry, and we kind of need it. Like, mental health is huge. If you don't have a good mental health, you're not going to perform. So I did have a mental health specialist. Her name's Alexis, but she left schools. But she's very, very special to me because she helped me through last year a lot. And I'm just saying last year because that was my biggest year. But she helped me get through a lot of things that I didn't think I could get through. Like, there were times where I just wanted to quit. I didn't want to be here anymore. Like, and of course not on earth, but like just want to be at LSU. And I kind of just like, I felt like I was alone. And as soon as she came into my life, it was just like, I have somebody, you know? And of course you have your family, your mom. I'm not taking that away from her. Like, yes, I have my mom, but like, I feel like there's just certain people that God sends in your life to where you're just like, okay, this is my wake up call. Like, I deserve to be here, you know? Like, I'm good enough to be here. I have a purpose on this earth. And so she was definitely my angel. And I'm so grateful for her because without her, like, I wouldn't have went as far as I went, for real. And so I would say that was something from last year. And as far as this year, as far as like visualizations, like I said, I'm just a very big spiritual person. So the power of the tongue is strong, and if you speak it, you will receive it. Like, you have to speak what you want, your desires, even when you're talking about your, you know, like your goals in the future. Like, you literally just have to say it, and they will show up. Like, and it's crazy because it's like magic. And I'm such a big kid, but like, I view it as just magic. Like, I can literally say this one thing and God is going to put it there. Yes, he will.
Yeah, it's a manifestation.
He will. And that's something that's huge for me. Like, I'm a big manifester, so all I do with just like track and field and just everything in general in life that I want is just speak it, and it comes to me. Like, it's insane. I feel like my ability to manifest is like heightened.
I love that.
I don't know why, but it's heightened.
I believe it. I'm sitting here and I'm locked in the conversation. You have some sort, I don't know what it is, you know, like, but I have chills right now, but you see the world in a different way, I think, than people your age. Probably you seem wise beyond your years, and when you were saying certain things, you've been saying things that people are coming into your lives, you know, as angels and things like that. I'm going to give you a book, or send you a book. It's called Seed of the Soul. It's a little different, but basically this author, he's written a couple books, and his view on God and religion and Jesus is, he's a Christian, but he believes that the people that come into your lives are guides, teachers, or soulmates, and each person fits into a category, and it allows you to kind of like process when somebody does you wrong and then they're out of your life and you're like, I love them, why did that happen? Or they pass away or something like that, right? It allows you to process it, but then it also just like allows you to like accept those times when like the sports psychologist came into your life and you're like, this is an angel. She's gone now, but she came in and served her purpose, opened so much up for you, right? To change your life, to help you move forward. And I think you would really like that book a lot, because it just sounds like you, when I was reading the book, I was like, this is how I lived my whole life. This makes so much sense. Literally. You know, manifestation, all that stuff, speaking things into existence, and people coming into your life at the right times, exactly when you need them, leaving at the right times, you know, all that stuff. So
that's fire. Okay.
I'm gonna give you that book. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I'm a big person of manifestation, visualization, all of that stuff. And the brain is so powerful too, right? Like, it doesn't know the difference between a realized event and an actual event. So when I was pitching, sometimes I would just visualize the whole lineup going through one time, you know, like how I was going to face somebody. So when I got out there, it was almost like, I'd done this shit before. I got this. Let's go. You know, like it's already done. Yeah. So it sounds like you do similar things, and it sounds like you have a lot of things on your side, and I love that for you. All right, so what's next? You got your last year coming up. We got some NIL deals on the table. Maybe cards and culture will be in that mix. I love it.
For sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Easily.
What do you want to take away from your last year at LSU? What are you looking forward to the most? What are some of those things that are coming up for you?
This last year, I really want to focus on building my bag before I get to the next level. I always said, since last year, my goal was to make six figures before I get out of college.
Let's go. And I love that.
I want to really get involved with NIL because it's not just about me, to be honest. Like, I want to uplift people because I feel like people don't understand in this world that they have a purpose. And I want people to know their purpose. And if that's my goal, I feel like my purpose in life is to help people understand their purpose and really like get it through their head that you deserve to be here as much as I do, as much as anybody else on this earth does. I don't care if you're Beyonce. You deserve to be here as much as she does. And I just really want people to understand that, like, I'm here to help you as well. Like, I want to use my platform to help others and not just become this one person that's, oh yeah, I'm famous and I want all the fame and glory. Right. I don't want all of it. I want everybody else to succeed as much as I do. So I think this year in particular, I really want to focus on NIL and just uplifting businesses and people and helping others. And that's really like one of my goals because I just love people. Like people are beautiful, like they're creations of God. So why not just like help them feel loved, you know? Because a lot of people struggle with feeling loved. So
Facts.
I just want to do that. That's all.
You seem like a really good person.
Thanks.
No, your energy is great. I'm just like, just keep talking. I'm like, this is
Thank
great.
You.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's been a pleasure to get to know you so far, and I'm looking forward to the future. But talk to me a little bit. You said Powerade, and are you allowed to talk about your NIL deals?
Yeah.
Okay. So Powerade and WWE, you said? Talk to me about that WWE thing. That's really cool and exciting, a little different.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. They reached out to me, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to be a wrestler, but I mean, that'd be cool. And so then like, I learned that it's actually like, you know, acting, like they act and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, right? Yeah. And so one of my minors at LSU is theater, and I really love acting. And in freshman year, my minor was film and TV.
Let's go.
So one day I want to be an actress. And so I was like, okay, that wouldn't be a bad start. So I was like not opposed to the deal or anything. So they flew me out to Orlando where like the main site is and like where they film and everything and practice. And I got to see like the whole entire set. I met some of the wrestlers and it was just like so cool. I wish I met John Cena. He's so cool.
You didn't meet him?
No, I didn't. Damn, but like that would have been sick. But like yeah, I met some of them and like they took us out to dinner.
That you can talk about? That you met? That was cool. I don't know wrestlers, so I'm probably
I forgot their names, but they were like big. I remember they were big because like they were telling me like, okay, these are some big people, so don't go too crazy. But like I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, like I met some big name people, and it was just like I seen Tiana there, the soccer player, and so I was just like, okay, like this is nice. And honestly, like I think those are the experiences I needed to see like where I could be one day, you know. And so that was just like a really good experience for me. And just like they covered everything. Like they paid for my flight, they paid for food and hotel and everything. So it was just really cool.
No, that is.
And then you know, I just posted, they took us on like a photo shoot, like what it'd be like to be in the ring, stuff like that. So it was cool. And I think that was probably one of my best NIL deals because I got to experience what it'd be like to be like a WWE wrestler. Yeah. And like, you know, they gave me the option to, after my track career, of course. Yeah. But like they said, you can come to the WWE if you want, and you can be a wrestler, you can be on TV and stuff like that. So it was awesome. And I'm always invited to like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, like it's great. I think that's so awesome. Yeah, the connection. Network. It's really about the relationship that you have with them. Like exactly, it's cool. It's really cool.
That's what I've spoken at LSU and NIL stuff a little bit, and that's what I keep pushing the athletes to do. Is you guys are at the top of the world right now, like literally. And you know, some of you guys are going to go on to the next level and be able to keep playing, but some of the athletes are going to be done. So I'm like, yo, you need to take all these NIL deals, meet all these people. You never know what doors it's going to open. And LSU's so prominent right now too. Some people just want to be involved with LSU, you know, and stuff like that. So I commend you for doing all that stuff, and I'm looking forward to the deals that you do this year, and hopefully, like I said, we can be involved. I think just again, sitting down, getting to know you, I want to tell your story more and spread some of that love and energy that you have. And I think you're a great role model for young kids and people looking to become the next, you know, LSU athlete. So I always like to give that platform and give back to you guys too. So I appreciate your time. This was an awesome conversation. I've really enjoyed it. Do you want to leave our listeners with anything else? Any other cool stories or any other events that you want to talk about or anything?
I really like to preach this one thing, but it's just something that I've learned recently in the past year. I want my younger generation to know, people that are way younger than me, I want y'all to know that growing up, not everyone is going to be your friend. And some people are thrown in your life as a distraction. They're thrown in your life for a reason. And some are just thrown in forever, you know? And I want them to know that, because it's really hard to distinguish who is there for you and who is not. And I think I learned that the hard way, because I'm really, really soft when it comes to friendships and heartbreaks and stuff like that. So I had to learn the hard way, as far as just like knowing, like, okay, I see the signs. You're not someone that's really for me, and you just want to be here for this one reason. And it's like, I just want my younger people to know that not everyone's your friend. And when someone shows their true colors, it's okay, because that's just the enemy revealing himself, and that's just God eliminating people out of your life and showing you something, because he's warning you that this is what it's going to be like where I'm sending you, and I need you to know that there's going to be wolves in sheep's clothing. And that's just something that's very, very important in the next, like, you know, the next stage in life. So
I'll let you know too, even at my old age, at 33, I'm still dealing with that too.
Exactly. So I think that's just a lifetime thing. Like, you have to know that there's people in this world that are just sent just because.
Yep. I got to get you this book. I'm serious, because then it just allows you to kind of move forward and be like, cool, I know where that person was here.
Exactly.
Like sometimes, like, there's some, you know, I run a business, so some people would be shady, do some crazy shit, you know, like whatever, try to fuck me over. And I'm just like, cool. It just says a lot about them. I know what I learned a lot from that. You know, it's like, cool, you can take it, you can have confidence and move forward. So I love that message. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, that's the most important thing, to be honest, because your mental is your everything. So, and the people in your life, I feel like the enemy sends people to destroy you, and he's not going to send somebody that's a stranger on the street. You don't care about him. He's going to send people you love. So yeah, it's okay to love, but like, at least like love knowing that there's a possibility that this person could possibly hurt you. Not saying you have to be guarded with everything, but but
just be aware. I think that's right.
Just be aware.
Just be aware. I think the saying, or for the Christians out there, like, the devil, you know, doesn't come to you as a serpent. He comes to you as everything that you ever wanted, right? Everything. And disguised in so many different ways. Is a serpent the right word? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just But that's I remember somebody telling me that when I was like 22 years old, and I was like, that's interesting. And it's like, and then you start paying attention to that. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
22 is a good number. Can't lose with 22s.
Right.
That's good. All right, Leah, this is great. I know you got a million things going on. You're an elite athlete, so I'm sure you got recovery and all this stuff going on the rest of the day. What you up to Are you in school?
Yeah, okay. I'm in school right now. Just one summer class though for this session, and then one more next session. Good. Well, I'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to catching up in the fall and doing some stuff together for your last year. I appreciate the time and coming over to the shop. Thank you. Of course.